So I was asked to make a video about giving advice on police body cameras. That's perfectly fine. I know my channel is a law enforcement motivation channel and how to police and not lose your mindset, your health. But let's talk about your job as well. And if you do not take having a body camera seriously and not operating it well and having it on, yeah, there could be some consequences. So why not? Let's go over it. Please understand, disclaimer here, it is advice. It is not the rule. It is not something that you can say in court, well, Scott told me on his YouTube channel. No. This is just advice. So for the almost 5 years that I've been familiar with body cameras, the first thing you need to know about a body camera is this. Department policy is something you have to know about that camera. You have to know the policy inside and out before you put on that camera and before you operate that camera so that you'll know everything your police department or sheriff's office expects from you. Duh. No, seriously, if that is so easy, why are officers still getting in trouble for policy violations when it comes to body cameras? Number two, my advice is to have that body camera on anytime you are interacting with the public. I'm not saying if you attend some community meeting at a local church where they talk about the roads and the crime and different departments of the city come in to talk. I'm saying if you get called to anything or you initiate anything, cut that camera on. Just CYA. You know what it stands for. Cover your arse. Number three is something that's good to be reminded about, but you also need to know the policy when it comes to the operation of your body camera when interacting with juveniles. If a juvenile has been a victim of a very sensitive crime, sexual in nature, for instance, understand your department policy when it comes to operating that. I can't speak for what the department policy is, but make sure you understand and have consideration about recording when it comes to that kind of thing. The next one you might get a kick out of, but I'm guilty as charged. I've made the mistake. If this video serves as a reminder, that's great, but be aware when that camera is on. And do not forget that it is on. Let's just say I've been to the bathroom and I heard that beep, beep. Look down like, oh my gosh. And then you have to make that embarrassing call to your supervisor. I know I'm not the only one. It's going to happen. It's going to. But just be aware. Do your best to be aware. All it took was one time for me, and I haven't made that mistake since. Turn that camera off immediately when you clear a call. Because if you don't, you really run the risk of having it continuously run. And for all you know, you might go to lunch and you're talking about your personal life and it's all on camera because you forgot to turn it off after you leave that call. The second you get in the car, turn it off and say why you're turning it off. This is just advice. Once again, know your department policy and what is expected of you and what is not allowed per that policy. But this is just my advice. Say why you're turning it off. Clearing the call. Simple as that. If your body camera for some reason breaks and it will not function, it will not operate while you're on duty, never, ever delay letting a supervisor know. Because you and I both know we have no idea what the next second, the next 5 minutes, the next 10 minutes, the next few hours are going to entail. You could get called to anything, anywhere, and you might really need that camera. And if you delayed letting the supervisor know, then you can be hemmed up pretty bad. Number 8, label the footage, tag the footage immediately after the call. However, if you're on a traffic stop, go to a different location. Parked a few houses down from a domestic you just cleared, leave the scene entirely before you label it and put your attention on your phone or your computer or however you tag your footage. But label it immediately. That way, as the day progresses and more kind of tired you get and the more ready you are to get ready to go home, you don't have reports stacking up. You don't have labeling videos stacking up, and that just kind of stresses you out. I like to label my videos as the shift goes on immediately after I clear the call. But remember, you absolutely have to get into a safe area away from where you were. That's my opinion. That's my advice. Okay, I won't say that anymore.
You know this is all advice.
Number 9, categorize the calls as felonies. Now, I can't speak for your department. Best to my knowledge, cloud space, the cloud storage, costs the same no matter how things are labeled and no matter how long footage is there. Having said that, when you have a call, when you have a charge in particular, you save it as a felony, the footage is saved for 20 years. I'm going off experience here. So consider categorizing it for a felony so it stays longer, if your department allows it. That's my advice.
Dang it, I said it again.
Number 10, how are you going to wear the camera? Are you going to have it hooked on right here? Are you going to have it hooked down your pocket? Or are you going to have the magnet where you put the magnet here and then the magnet on the camera and the two connect? What are you going to do? In my experience, I have found that the hook is more sturdy in fights and foot chases and doesn't fall off, because I've seen plenty of footage of officers running through the woods wearing the camera via a magnet and the camera comes off. However, when you're wearing a jacket, it's best to have the magnet, because if you have it right here, you can't completely put the jacket on, but you must have that footage readily available. Like you can't block the lens of the camera just because you're wearing a jacket. That's not going to fly in court. That's not going to fly if you're in an internal on something. It's not going to fly if someone files a complaint and you don't have the footage to show, even though your camera was on. You get what I'm saying? These are things to consider when it comes to body cameras. So I really hope these 10 things were good advice for you if you're new to law enforcement, or your department or sheriff's office is just now rolling out body cameras. I do hope this is helpful for you. It's just practical advice, and someone asked about it, figured I'd make a video about it. So if you did like the video, please click the like button below, subscribe to my channel, turn that bell notification on so that you'll be notified when I come out with a new video. Take care, and may God bless. Do not forget to secure your copy of the book, 101 Health Tips for Police Officers. The link to get it is below.